nini? Umutambo, umaskini, ukabila, mapendeleo, Ford Kenya, Wetangula, Pilato, Wetangula.
Since the politics of the Western Kenya is going to define the movement, or it's going to define the politics of the 2027, because so many people are rising in defiance or speaking independent mind regarding the politics of the, speaking independently regarding the politics of the 2027. Among them is one George Natembeya. George Natembeya is this guy that speaks his mind bravely, without fear, without contradiction. In a recent event that seemed to have rubbed Ichungwa in a wrong way, George Natembeya spoke passionately about the abductions that are taking place in the country. And George Natembeya said that the country wasn't happy with what was going on regarding the arrest, or what the police call arrest, and the Kenyan says is abduction of the young people in the nation. Remember, George Natembeya is the leader of the Tawe movement. Tawe movement is this movement that is in Western Kenya that is trying to advocate for the positions, or for the inclusion of the Westerners in the government. And George Natembeya seemed to be the head of that movement. Beside him, he seemed to be uniting slowly with those young and upcoming leaders, or young leaders from the Western Kenya. Among them is Cleo Malala. Remember, Cleo Malala, since Rigiji was impeached from the government, Cleo Malala also was impeached as the Secretary General, or rather was ousted as the Secretary General of the UDA party. And he said he's well in opposition, what he calls opposition, because he's not in the government as we speak per se, and he said he's going to rally the Mulembe Nation behind one candidate. I remember Mulembe Nation has been this kind of people of this region that has been struggling to unite. Mulembe Nation always says that they are going to unite, but they hardly unite. There is a famous phrase that the media loves peddling around, called the elusive Mulembe unit, or the Mulembe Nation mirage. And it seems these guys are determined to dismantle that narrative and unite the Mulembe Nation. This leaves some old guards in an awkward position, because if you look at Atoli, Akna Oparanya, they all seem to be now in the dark, or they all seem to be now down on the carpet, and these rising youngsters are the one speaking their minds regarding the leadership of the Mulembe Nation. There's a video I want us to watch shortly of George Natembeya trying to lead, or leading the Tawe movement in the Trans Nzoia region. That's the video that I want us to watch this evening.
Nakupeleka Canaan, lazima nifikishe watu yangu. Ama namna gani? Balio bantu bali Musa wetangula. Alinga ga Musa mu Biblia. Sakola kana nita. Kakeza bantu muzichimiki miaka 40. Malakwa ambaza Misri kuja Canaan. Alinga ga kwa ambana na kuja Kitale. Bayo kelanga volata na bayo kasa volata. Lakini vivyo kwa hapo onekana na mwezina. Nataka tupeleke watu yangu Canaan. Bantu vivyo wakachengo nile kumutambana kukupile. Kumbuka kukwamba ukombozi unakuja. Mambo mazuri nafanya nini? Tushikane na Wakenya wengine. Sisi tukipata haki yetu, hatutaki kunyanyasa mtu. Efe kurukirangalisa hapo. Hatujui kunyanyasa watu. Tukipata haki yetu, jamii zifanya nini? Sipata haki. Ili kila mtu ajione kwamba ni Mkenya. Namazando bantu vivyo. Simi nimesema tu kweli. Itakuaje kwamba watu 5,000, na mimi nataka watu wa Nairobi, hata President Ruto asikie hii maneno. Itakuaje kwamba watu 5,000 ambao walikuwa na mashamba yao wakapigana kwa sababu ya vita wakatoroka rais? Itakuaje kwamba watu 5,000 wanakaa kwa shamba 5? How possible is that? Watu wanaishi kama wanyama bwana. Itakuaje? Itakuaje? Lakini iko siku bandu wewe. Iko nini? Iko nini? Sisi tumesema
based on that video, and if you watch closely also, there's this guy that we don't take him serious, but he has a serious grassroots rather mobilization, and this is one Salasia. You may dismiss him as a joker, but truth be told, he has a command on his in his constituency, because he speaks for so many young youth, and he inspires so many young people in Mumias East. These are the guys to watch, because they seem to be moving away from the shackles of the ODM. Remember, ODM is the dominant party in the Western region, but it seems these guys are going to sit together and decide a path for the Mulembe nation. And going forward, come 2027, I believe Mulembe nation is going to be a darling to so many politicians. I believe so many politicians like Nakalonzo are all going to eye for Mulembe nation's vote, because either way, they are all going to look for a running mate from that region. ODM party, I believe it's also going to eye. You cannot dismiss the population of the voters of the Mulembe nation. So I believe ODM as well is going to go courting the Mulembe nation. UDA to speak is going to go after the Mulembe nation. Remember, the two guys known as the two guys in the government, Mudavadi and Wetangula, hails from that region, and the president seemed to be pretty well with those guys, but he still wants more from that region. I think that's why the president decided to bring on board one Oparanya. He tried Oparanya because he believes Oparanya is going to bring Kakamega into the government. Let's watch and see what's going to transpire, what's going to take place in the coming days. If it is your first time on my channel, please do not leave without hitting that subscription button and put on a notification bell, so that when I do the next video, you'll not miss out. Thank you and have a good night.